Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki and welcome to my little yarniverse. So hello, welcome if you're new, welcome back if you're a returning viewer. If you've seen any of my podcasts before, then you will know that we're in a slightly different location today. So this location may end up featuring a few times in the not too distant future. But this is our lounge, not my craft room. I think that I want to be able to record from my craft room, but it is not set up yet because the kitchen and the lounge and the dining room and that kind of thing, all the livable spaces in the house, those took priority over me setting up my yarn room, unfortunately. But what can you do? So yes, the lounge has been set up. I have board games to the left of me here. I have DVD collection to the right, TV up front near the window giving me lots of natural light, which makes it a nice place to record. Sofa, not new. We did have it in the old place, but it was always off shot. But I kind of, based on the fact that it's all plushy and stuff, and it's kind of nice having this one there in the sofa. The old sofa that I used to record on is over on the other side of the room, so I've swapped the decor around and slightly claimed this one. If my husband's watching, then he might have guessed that already actually, but I didn't say that I claimed this one, but it's becoming a little bit obvious. So yeah, that's the house progress so far. Hopefully at some point the yarn room will come to be. It's my next job. And I'll record it for you, of course. But today's video is actually about something that I did before the house move and then just didn't have time to put everything together, so I'm really sorry to the owner of this location if they have been looking out for the video. It's here, it's now. This is the recording of some footage from when I went to the Purple Pumpkin Patch yarn shop in Loughborough. So found ourselves in Loughborough, looked for a yarn shop, of course, so resurrected the yarn on tour videos. I did end up buying some things there, of course, so I'll be showing those at the end of the video, but for now let's jump into some footage of the Purple Pumpkin Patch. Let's jump into some footage of the Purple Pumpkin Patch in Loughborough. So this is the Purple Pumpkin Patch in Loughborough, a place for crafting and handmade gifts, locally sourced. Advertising the shop out front is this beautifully, vibrantly crocheted bike, so no one's at a loss as for what is sold inside. So the owner has been here for 7 years. And they were telling me that actually over the course of those 7 years there has been a lot of evolution in the shop. The shop originally started as a place for craft lessons and handmade gifts. But because of lockdown, people couldn't browse the gifts so much, some of which are on this table in front of us. And so actually people were asking for their craft supplies during lockdown, which meant the shop kind of evolved slightly to sell them. Just going to briefly pause that story to showcase this corner here, which was my absolute favourite corner of the shop. This is where the locally hand-spun yarn is. So the owner and people that she knows locally hand-spinning their own yarns out of wool and alpaca and bamboo and flax. And this was just the most truly unique corner I think I've ever seen in a yarn shop. So very excited, and if you go to the Purple Pumpkin Patch, then do check out those yarns. But you should also check out their gifts, because they do still sell gifts in the shop. Like I was saying, it was originally a bit of a gift shop with some crafty lessons in it. They've still got quite a variety of stuff on sale, not just yarn related things, but also soaps and mugs and coasters, all very intriguing things. And yeah, but of course now selling those haberdashery fabrics and those yarns, because during lockdown people were not able to browse the shops, but they were spending lots of time at home honing their crafts and asking for supplies. So this corner at the back of the shop is where all the fabrics and cross-stitching kind of things are kept, and then on the shelves, just as we turn around, is where some more of the yarns are and some of the like stuffing and knitting needles and stuff like that. So there's just so much in this shop. It was really interesting to look around. There was so many different things on display. I did come away with some goodies, of course, but my absolute favourite corner was that first corner that I was showing you with the handspun yarn. Really loved seeing that. Definitely encourage you to visit the Purple Pumpkin Patch in Loughborough. So yeah, there you have it, new yarn shop for our yarn on tour video series. I hope you liked it. If you're anywhere near Loughborough, then you may already have been there or heard of it. Do check it out if you are ever visiting. It's a nice little place with some interesting yarn. So, would you like to see what I bought? Of course you would. So here we go. I only bought 3 things because I'm just trying to be a little bit careful, because obviously I was moving, I didn't want to buy loads. But I'm going to save the best for last. So I'm going to start with something which is becoming a bit of a regular in my collection, and I probably need to make this one the last one that I buy as an experimental base, because actually at this point I'm testing brands rather than paints. But I got some of the Mariner Cotton DK, which is a 100% mercerized cotton. So I've said before on this channel, I really like how mercerized yarn feels and how easy it is to work with. I've worked with non-mercerized cotton before and I found that a lot drier, I think, maybe, is that the word, drier, a little bit splitty, but I find mercerized cottons like this just make beautiful, beautiful baby socks and things like that. So this is probably what this will end up becoming, but it's so nice to work with. I've got several brands now. I think I've got some Wendy's, some King Cole, oh, was it King Cole cotton? I think it was cotton. King Cole, I have got some ice yarn that's mercerized cotton. I've got all sorts. Actually, maybe I need to go and revisit that stash at some point. That's maybe something I can do when I do the yarn room, is actually like dig out my stash and work out how much I've got. So yes, really like this colour. It's slightly different from my usual go-to colours, but I do quite like how I look in greens. This maybe is a little bit too springy, I'm not sure, but it's probably going to be baby socks anyway, so that doesn't matter too much. But I do want to have a little bit of variety in the colours that I have, so I've got this. One thing just to mention that I haven't already, so it's saying that this is DK, and it is saying that there's only like 200 metres in it, but it is saying that a smaller needle than a 4mm could be used. I know that like the needle size is not reflective of the thickness of the yarn, but this doesn't feel particularly DK-ish. It feels quite thin. I don't know, but maybe it's not thin enough to be 4-ply. There's not enough in it. Like, I think cotton must be denser as a fabric than acrylic because there's less meterage in here. So yes, 201 meters to be precise. 100% cotton, pure natural cotton. I've already said it's mercerized. It's recommending a 3 1/4 to a 4mm needle. I think if you used anything bigger than a 4mm, this would be really, really, really drapey. And I think I could probably even, like I say, work this up on my much smaller needles for sock knitting. But we will see. It doesn't actually have a shade number unless this is what 2290 is. But yeah, Mariner's yarn. So that's that one. Anyway, spoken enough about that one. Let's move on to the next. Now the next is a little bit different for me, because even though this is a 4-ply sock yarn, and I have quite a few sock yarns, got ever so slightly different composition to my usual. So it's still 75% wool and it's still 25% nylon, but the wool in this sock yarn is merino. So that's slightly new to me. I'm so excited. It is very, very soft. I've said that yarns are soft before, but this is so soft. This is Mariner Cozy Toes. It is unbelievably squishy. Like really, 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 really squishy. I am very impressed with the softness. Whether that will prove to be as resilient and sturdy as some of my other socks. I don't know. I presume that because it still has the same nylon content that they will be. It's so soft. So I've gone for like the turquoisey purple colourway. Because I am a fan of the purpley turquoises, even though I don't really have much in my wardrobe now that is purple or turquoise. But I can just wear these around the house and things and see how soft they are and keep warm in winter, because winter is fast approaching. So it's saying that this is a 4-ply sock yarn, 100 grams, so I will be able to get 2 socks out of this. Already said 75% merino wool, 25% nylon. There is approximately 400 meters in this ball, and it's recommending a 3.25mm needle. But I don't think this is like much smaller than, hang on, if I get these two up next to each other, I don't think it's that much smaller. Maybe it's a bit smaller. I think they look quite similar, I think, in terms of thickness, but you never know. This is saying this is a 4-ply, that one's saying it's a DK. So yeah, not much else to say about that one. Oh, apart from the shade is saying that it's 2430. I wish they'd come up with some like creative names actually for some of those. Anyway, the best for last. So I hope that I mentioned in my little voiceover of the recording of the clip that the person who owns the Purple Pumpkin Patch does actually spin their own yarn. So I obviously bought some. So I went for purple. It's the Purple Pumpkin Patch, so I had to go for purple. But yeah, there was quite a lot of different thicknesses in there, so some of them were more chunky than others. Some were kind of a bit more of a like, not bobbled effects, it wasn't a bubble, but like bits that were like thicker and thinner. Like, I guess that's part of like when you hand spin, you can do that. You can change thickness and make a more interesting textured yarn. So there are little bits like that in this yarn, some thicker bits at the top there, but I figured that this was like thinner and in general, and that it would therefore like make maybe slightly more of a garment, like maybe I could make a scarf out of this. But it's also a really interesting fibre content, because this is in fact bamboo and flax, so this is not wool. So I have got bamboo somewhere in my stash. I think I keep it with my cottons, but I don't think I've had anything in flax before, and certainly not in a combination of the two. I have got 152 meters here in a 100 gram ball, and it's kind of like a 4-ply double knitting weight, which, you know, seems about right, really. Obviously it does vary in places, and it's this really nice like kind of marley effect where there are strands of purple that are slightly deeper, like here, slightly deeper purple, and then strands that are like woven in with something that's lighter. So there's kind of this really nice variation, even though it's all purple. So yeah, I really like this addition to my stash. I don't know what I'll make with it as of yet. Possibly a scarf, like I said, or some sort of accessory, because I don't have a lot of it, but just enough to play with it and get a feel for how the bamboo and the flax feel together. So yeah, super excited about that, and that concludes my little haul from the Purple Pumpkin Patch. So I'm going to pop these back in their bag to keep them safe. And yes, is there anything more to say on this video? I don't think so, really. I am hoping to do more yarn on tour videos now that we're settled, but I don't know if I'll get any more done before the new year, because everything's very Christmas decor at the moment. So probably not another yarn on tour video until the new year, but I will be hopefully getting around to making some Christmas decorations with some yarn that I have had like piled into a project bag for a while now and has earmarked it as Christmas stuff, and I've just not got around to like having any time to sit down and make things out of it. So that's the plan. And also, yeah, at some point, putting those Christmas decorations up, showing you where we've put the Christmas decor in our house. That'd be nice. Showing you some of my crafty makes from the past, possibly needing to make some more because we've got more space now, which means more different decor items that will be required. So there is still a lot to do in the run up to Christmas. So yes, I'm going to leave the video there for now and come back when I have a yarn room tour or something else that I've made to show you. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the Purple Pumpkin Patch. I'm going to struggle to say that. Purple Pumpkin Patch. And yeah, if you're ever in Loughborough, check it out. But for now, I'll see you in another video. Bye everyone.